Jamaica Beach, and if you're just getting into the series, I'm comparing a few large choppers here that are very popular on the market. The Becker Bk9, Ontario SP5, SP10, and Rtak II, and an ex-Gurkha Khukuri house traditional service #1 Khukuri. Now, for a few decades, it seems like survivalists have been trying to convince everybody that small knives can do the job of large knives, and they're right, they can. But today we're going to look at and see if these large knives can do a small knife's job, because I believe that with any one of these knives you can have a one-tool option, which means you won't have to carry a small knife. Now, Ethan Becker said that when he's testing a new knife, a large knife, one of his favorite tests to do is to make a tent stake with it to see how it'll handle. That's what I've done here today, except I added a couple small little things to our tent stake to really see how these large knives can handle small notches and some little bushcraft tricks that you might need to use in the wilderness in a survival situation.
So hickory will be used to make these tent stakes, but we're doing a little bit extra. It's just going to be like a mini tri-stick. Of course, we're going to have a pointed tip for going into the ground. I'm not going to make them too sharp, because real sharp tent stakes, I would just usually break. Next, I'm gonna do 90-degree planes. These are used for traps, such as the figure 4. Then, did a little square or saddle notch here. And then finally, I did it too close to the edge, so I had to staple it back on. But I have a bit of a pot holder notch. And this can also be used for figure 4 deadfall, as well as various other things. So, altogether, the reason I'm doing this is it gives you a little bit of everything when it comes to the styles of woodworking and carving in a format that I can do relatively quickly and easily for you on camera.
Let's get started with the Becker Bk9.
So the knives will be graded based off of overall comfort and not necessarily speed or anything else, because there's too many variables with the different sticks. In first place came the Becker Bk9. Ethan Becker said that he chose the handle material that he chose not because it was tacky, but because it's actually slippery. I didn't have any hot spots or pressure points. The knife was always very comfortable to use. And although I'm not grading these by the quality of the steaks, because, that was more to do with me than the knife, you can kind of tell that everything worked really well, and the steak looks really good. I really enjoyed using the Bk9 for this test, so it gets first place and 5 points. In a very close second is the Ontario Rtak II. This knife also gave me no hot spots and was just generally very comfortable to use. I made the steak very, very quickly compared to some of the others, and everything worked quite well. But I think the defining factor for my personal comfort between the Bk9 and the Rtak II was that thumb ramp. That was really nice. Now, if the Bk9 had a choil similar to the Rtak II there, it would easily be better. Third place was a bit surprising. The traditional Khukuri actually took it. And it would be better, I think, without the Kaura there, which is traditional to Nepalese Khukuris, and I thought that kind of got in the way a little bit, and I'd rather have maybe a small choil there or something else. But it cut through the wood really nicely, and it was very comfortable to use. Again, no hot spots of any kind. And its tent stake actually probably turned out the best in all areas except for my saddle notch there, which hewed out a little bit. Surprisingly, in fourth place came Ontario's SP5. The SP5 has so much to offer. The handle is good, but I don't feel confident choking up on the blade on that ricasso there. And what that ricasso did was it made it so that I really couldn't get as close to the blade and get nice leverage as I wanted to when doing small tasks. But it still did very well. We're talking between these four knives a very small difference, and any one of them would do great. So the Ontario got fourth place, and I was not surprised, I'm sorry to say, that the SP10 Marine Raider got last place. The wide, thick saber grind made battening and getting my small notches difficult because it didn't want to pry pieces off. It just wanted to wobble back and forth because it's so thick. And it was just generally difficult to use. And that guard kept getting in the way. I couldn't get a comfortable placement of my fingers. I actually had 2 hot spots with this knife, more than any other knife, because I just had to grip it as hard as I could because I couldn't get my thumb up on the blade. And it's as sharp as any of them, much sharper than the Khukuri, which I use hands down the most and have never sharpened. But it's just not quite right. And on both the SP5 and the SP10, the grippy handles are nicer at first for both chopping and these small chores, but after a little while they start to wear on the hands, and for prolonged use or survival use, I really don't prefer them. They're so nice at first, but for prolonged use they just don't cut it when compared to a less attractive Grivery handle like the Becker, or a nice micarta handle, or even this bone handle. But there you go, guys. That's how they did.
Hey guys, so to go back over the points, the Becker Bk9 got first place and was awarded 5 points. The Ontario Rtak II got second place and was awarded 4 points. The ex-Gurkha Khukuri House Khukuri got third place and was awarded 3 points. The Ontario SP5 Survival Bowie got fourth place, being awarded 2 points. And the Ontario SP10 Marine Raider Bowie got last place, being awarded only 1 point. So the total so far for this whole series competition, the Khukuri is in first place with 21 points. Following in a close second is the Ontario Rtak II with 18 points. And the Becker Bk9 and Ontario SP5 are tied for third place with 17 points. And the Ontario SP10 Marine Raider is trailing far behind with 6 points. So I've got 2 more videos to do comparing these knives, and so the winner is still unclear. It could be almost any one of these knives, but stick around. I look forward to showing you what will come next, which will probably be a silly zombie slaying, water bottle slashing, coconut chopping comparison of these knives. Followed by a general statistical competition, and then we'll wrap it up. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I look forward to doing more competitions like this with machetes and smaller knives, and hopefully as I continue, I'll have more and more knives to compare. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.